and it's our friend Walter. Could you come to East Farm? I might have a job for you. He has 2 fields that need ploughing, ideally before the ground gets too hard and the snow cover is in. Good amount of shopping to keep us happy. I seem to have left my lights on. Hope I haven't worn the battery down. There we go, the walls are only thin in this place. Well, 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 the sheriff is snowed in, and not only that, he needs our help on one of the ploughs. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. As you can see, we are now in February, and the snow has cleared, but in its stead, we have a rather thick fog that has joined us this morning. I have never seen fog like it. It is very difficult to see, and the visibility is minimal. We can see the lovely sunrise through the cloud, hoping it is going to burn away this fog later on. But yes, it is still very cold despite the snow thawing and going away. We've had to keep on our warm clothing, as yes, it is -3 today, but we're hoping of a top temperature of 6 degrees. But thankfully, the snow has gone, and our flattened grass that was under the snow and ice has now risen again in the sunlight, thankfully. And yes, I'm really excited for the months to come, because I'm hoping that we're going to be able to cut this grass and make some good use out of it. I plan to mow it, potentially turn it into hay, and we'll look to sell it to Walter, or someone that Walter knows, anyone who's in need of hay. Potentially someone who deals with animals, that will probably be the right thing. But we do need some equipment, obviously, to mow this up. We're going to need a tractor and a mower. So yes, we really do have to start to search for some equipment. And now that we have a moderate sum of money, we can do that. But firstly, as we had to survive the January weather, and we battened up the hatches and stayed in our little log cabin, we do need to journey into town to gather some supplies and see what's going on. And there's not a lot of work on at the moment in Riverbend Springs, and that's mainly due to the cold weather and the season. But I'm going to journey into town to see what we can find, hopefully something that might keep us busy. Now, I have to go easy this morning because it is rather difficult to see in all of this fog. Hopefully we don't come across anyone. Over the bridge and past the sheriff's office. Now, I think this fog is starting to clear, and that's a good thing too, but it is awfully quiet on the roads this morning. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Looks like the sheriff and the fire department. Oh dear. let's pull up and see if we can find out what's going on. Oh, I'll just pull up at the cafe, but we'll return for a morning coffee. Yes, it is eerily quiet around Riverbend this morning. Seems like the bad weather and fog has really forced people to stay at home. Good morning, Sheriff. What's going on? Oh my goodness, the car in the ditch. Well, how did that happen? Well, I'm pleased to hear that no one was hurt. Must be all the ice and snow that was on the road, eh? Oh, I didn't know that the main road into town has been closed off. Debris on the road, you say? Sure, Sheriff. We can come back after the fog has cleared. What do you need us for? Well, it seems like a terrible accident befell one of the Riverbend Springs citizens. Fortunately, no one was injured and everyone got out the car unscathed, but it looks like it's in a bit of a terrible state. The fire department did come and get everyone out safely. The sheriff has just wandered off up the road to get the truck to haul this out of here. But yes, the main road into Riverbend Springs has been closed off, and that's not just because of this accident. He did mention that there seems to be some debris on the roads, which is interesting, and seems like the sheriff has a job for us later on. He didn't mention what it is, but he said, could we come back once the fog has cleared? So I think what we'll do is go to the cafe, get a coffee and a bit of breakfast, and hopefully the fog would have cleared by then. Good morning. Well, it certainly is good that we are welcome back in the cafe now, that the citizens of Riverbend Springs don't think we are a crook or a criminal anymore. I think the stories have all gone around town how we were arrested outside Willy's for improper transport of goods, but we have made up for it by doing the fire watch duty and helping out around Riverbend. Most recently, helping with the snow ploughing. Oh, well, we've had a coffee and breakfast, but it does not look like this fog has cleared up. I guess we will just go and see the sheriff anyway and see what kind of job he has got for us. Oh, it looks like they've got the car hauled up onto the truck and trailer. I guess that is going to go off to the scrapyard. Right, let's head over to the sheriff's office. I think that's where he's gone to. He's not here anymore. I think the fog is clearing up eventually. It's just a little bit slow going. Right, let's park up in the car park and go see the sheriff. We seem to be frequent visitors to this office. Hello again, Sheriff. Yes, how can we help? Right, I see. There's lots of grit and debris on the road from the snow and ice. Lots of potholes as well. Right, I see. How can we help? Well, we don't really know anything about road cleaning, but if the guy you normally use is out of town for the week, then I guess we've got to try and help. Sure, Sheriff. We can use the road sweeper. But what's in it for us? $1,000 sounds fair. Alright, we'll get to it. Well, another job to go on the odd request lists from Sheriff Bob. He has asked if we can do the road cleaning in Riverbend Springs. It seems like the usual worker who operates the road sweeper is out of town and is not going to be back for the foreseeable. I think they're away this week. And they could really do with the road being swept because there is a lot of debris on it which has come from the snow and ice. I think when the water freezes, it obviously makes cracks in the road surface, and then that gets chucked out onto the road as cars drive over it, and especially as the snow and ice melts, it washes all of that debris into piles on the road, and then the traffic only but make that worse. So the sheriff has told us there is a road sweeper on the other side of the railway tracks past the cafe. So we're going to go visit that now. And he's mentioned that the main area we need to sweep is the main road, as that is the worst and has had the most amount of traffic during the bad weather. Over the railway tracks and a right turn. And it is foggy, but somewhere at the end here Aha, right, I think I see what he is on about. So let's park the pickup here. Well, this looks like the town council's workshop, and here is the road sweeper. My oh my, this is quite a piece of equipment. Never operated anything like this before, but we can only but give it a go. We have got the keys from Sheriff, so yeah, let's head on in and see if we can get this started. Well, this isn't your standard kind of vehicle. Feel very central, but let's fire it up. Well, it has fired up, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a check around to see what's what. It looks like it has some brushes down here, which there must be a button or lever for inside to turn on. And I think this compartment at the back is where it collects up what it sweeps up. And looks like it can have a trailer on the back as well. But most importantly, it has got some beacons for good visibility, which we will need in this fog. Right, I think there's a little high vis in the cubbyhole, so only seems appropriate. Definitely fitting the bill now. Let's hop in and get started. Excellent, so we really do need some lights on, there we go, and some beacons to make sure we are well lit. I don't know if this has a siren or anything like that. Oh, it has a rather wacky horn, but we're not going to need that. Well, I guess we just head on over to where we need to go, and we can see about getting this beast fired up. Okay, we'll head back over to the main road, and Sheriff did say that the debris goes all the way up to the general store and near enough over to where Noah's Sawmill is. Okay, we'll turn on to the main road, and I think I can kind of see in the distance what Sheriff Bob is talking about. It looks like there are some piles of stones. Yeah, this is what all of the potholes has created, these piles of stones and rubble in the middle of the road. So let's see about getting the brushes unfolded on this beast and switch it on. There we go. Right, we should hopefully be able to sweep over these and collect them up. There we go. Oh, it is a bit bumpy. I'm probably going to stick to the edges first, and then we'll head on back through the middle of the road, and then, yep, see to the other side. Wish me luck. Well, there we go. We have gone from the general store back to the bridge just before Noah's Sawmill, and I think all of the main road is pretty clear now. I gotta say, once you get the hang of it, this road sweeper is pretty darn good, and there was a collection of stones and rubble in the middle of the road, mainly down this hill, I should add. I think that's probably because most motorists do a lot of braking down this hill or accelerating to get up it. So there we go, we have collected all of the debris from the road, so we can switch off and raise the brushes up again now. Fantastic. Well, I think Sheriff Bob is going to be happy with us. We collected 22,540 litres of rubble, and as it's predominantly stones, that gives me an idea. I wonder where the town normally dumps these stones, as we could potentially make use of these. I'm gonna check in at the sheriff's office and see what's going on. Hey, Sheriff. Yep, good news. We've cleared all the way from the general store down to the bridge before Noah's Sawmill, and it's all nice and clear now. Yeah, I'm fairly certain the local traffic can resume now, so you can give the word over local radio. Question for you. What do we normally do with the stones and rubble that's collected up? It gets discarded. I see. Well, reason I ask is I've been after some stone to help to go towards some building materials for me to build a larger farmhouse at some point, and I was wondering if I could take the stones to turn into cement. Well, that's very kind of you, Sheriff. Thank you. I'll be taking them over to Walter's East Farm to see if he can stash them for me, and then we'll bring the road sweeper back. Excellent, thank you. Cha-ching! Well, Sheriff has paid us our $1,000, but something that I think is going to be even better and more fruitful is we are welcome to the stones and rubble that have been collected up from the roads by this fantastic road sweeper, and that is going to serve us quite well. We can put all of those stones towards making cement at the cement factory. So my plan is I'm going to head over to Walter's farm, East Farm, and hopefully Walter is willing to stash these for us. We'll probably put them in a pile, and if he could look after them until such a time we have the money and the funds to rent out the cement factory, that would be grand. Well, I know we have enough money to rent it out at the moment, but I think it would be good to wait a little while, maybe until we've got some more stones, maybe for some rock collecting contracts. We will have to wait and see. But let's head over and go see Walter. I think this old girl is even slower now. It's got 22,000 litres of stones in the back, but fantastic. My, it really is foggy down in this little dip before the turning for East Farm. Hello, Walter. Don't worry, it is us. Yes. Hey, Walter. How you doing? Ah, that's great to hear. Sorry for the intrusion, and sorry if I startled you with the different vehicle and clothing today. That's right, we've been doing some more work to help out Sheriff Bob. Seems like his usual road sweeper is out of town this week. Anyway, we've been able to collect up a whole bunch of rubble and stones from the road, and as you were holding some stones for us already, I wondered if you'd mind looking after a pile of stones for us. You wouldn't mind? Oh, thanks, Walter. That is absolutely grand. Thank you so much. I'll have to make it up to you, I promise. Where would be best to stash them? Yeah, absolutely. I can go stash them behind your grain silo. No problem. Well, as luck would have it, Walter is perfectly happy for us to store our stones at his farm, which I'm very grateful for. He has requested if we could stash them behind his grain silo, which I think is here. That's going to keep them well out of his way, which is good. And I think by behind he probably means besides over here, as I don't think we can quite get the road sweeper in behind it, but here looks about good. So let's see about getting this unloaded. Well, there we go. It is quite a large pile, and I hope Walter is going to be alright with us stashing them here, but there we go. 22,000 litres of stones, plus I think it was around 2,000 to 4,000 that was in the trailer already. So yeah, we have got quite a haul of stones that we could take to the cement factory when we are ready to. Right, let's just drive past Walter and give him a toot farewell. We will have to come back and see him. Oh, actually, I was going to ask him if he knew where we could look to source a tractor. Thanks, Walter. Yes, we've stashed them just behind or beside the grain silo as we couldn't fit in behind it. I hope that's okay. Great. Thanks so much. By the way, do you know anyone who might have a tractor that we could look to purchase? We're obviously looking entry level and for our one patch of land at the moment. Old Ben, you say? No, we haven't met Ben, but could you tell us where we could find him? He lives just over the road, you say? Okay, yeah, well, I've got to get the road sweeper back, and I was going to check in to see if Noah had any work for us as well this afternoon, but I will go see Ben at the end of the day. Thanks very much, Walter. As always, you've been a great help. Right, we better get this road sweeper back before Sheriff Bob thinks we've taken it for ourselves on a road rage. Right, see you later, Walter. Take care. We can rejoin the main road. There's not much traffic about for the moment. Back over the bridge into misty Riverbend, and we can drop this road sweeper back. And I think we'll be grabbing the pickup and taking it over to Noah's to see if he has any work for us. Oh, we've just been pulled in front of by a vehicle. Yes, it's classic Riverbend drivers, but it's nice to see some motorists back on the road using it again after our road sweeping. No wonder someone ended up in that ditch, because a lot of the locals seem to drive like dipsticks. Right, let's get backed up in here and we can leave it be. Well, that was great fun. Let's put the high-vis back and we can be on our way. There we go, trusty coat back on, and we can hop in the pickup once again. Still very foggy. It is hard to see some of the pedestrians at short notice in the distance. Right, I'm quickly going to swing into the sheriff's office just to drop the keys for the road sweeper back in the letterbox, and then we can get on to Noah's. Let's just pull up here and drop the key back. There we go, and we can head on to Noah's. Here we are at the Sawmill. Let's head on in. And oh, he's here. Friend Noah. Hey Noah, how are you doing? That's right, we've had a busy morning helping out the sheriff with some road sweeping. But this afternoon I wondered if there was anything you needed. Oh, you thought we'd come here to check on the building materials? Well, we might as well, whilst we're here. Blimey, O'Reilly. You have been busy, Noah. My goodness, Noah, yes, you have been very busy. Do you have a count of how much there is? Oh, I see, you lost count. Well, I don't blame you. There is a lot here. So what have we got? These are the wooden beams. And next to it is the planks long. And then the standard planks. And then wood chips, which have come as a byproduct from all of the offcuts and obviously the sawing that Noah has done. Well, Noah, I've got to hand it to you. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. There is a lot here. I imagine we will have to come and collect this from you at some stage, but I don't have anywhere to store it, so is it alright to stay here for now? Thanks, Noah. That's a big help. Well, how can we help you this afternoon? Have you got any work for us? Seems like we are in luck, as Noah has a few wood transport contracts, and I think we're going to help him out with one this afternoon. It looks like the site to collect the wood is right near the watchtower, which we know very well. Seems like the Forestry Commission has wanted Noah to clear up more deadwood, so there's a good amount of trees there to go and pick up. And that needs to go over to the paper mill, which we've been to before. So I think we are going to accept this. Thanks, Noah. We'll get right on that. The lorry and crane around the back. Okay, we'll go grab them. I can see the lorry tucked up round the back here. And I gotta say, I am very impressed with all the building materials that Noah has been able to complete. And I think we'll be able to stop the leasing cost of the sawmill. Or maybe Noah will keep charging us as long as the materials remain stored here. We will have to see. But let's get out of here and head over to the watchtower, where we need to collect up the logs for Noah. Our visibility is still very difficult, even in the afternoon. I guess the sun has not been able to burn through that fog. But let's head on over as best we can, driving safely. Left turn. Looks like the fire crews are still tidying up some of the debris from that car in the ditch. And I can see the outline of the watchtower through the fog. Right, it's a right turn here onto the track that leads to the watchtower. Here we go. We'll follow the track past the watchtower, and I think the log pile is somewhere around the bend. There we go. It's quite strange being back at the watchtower for what's been quite a while, and the last time we were here we were attacked by a man in a bike helmet, which the sheriff has still not got to the bottom of, which is interesting. I wonder what is going to happen and be discovered about that situation. And of course we have the oddities of the Wicker Men, which I'm not sure if that is Noah or someone Noah knows. But here we go, a wood pile, so let's just back up and be level with it, so we have a good range of grabbing all the logs. Into the crane we go, and we can get started. And there we go. Wood has been delivered to the paper mill, so we've completed the contract, and I think we've got about $25 for a little bit of extra scrap wood that was deposited. So we can head on back to Noah's sawmill and see about collecting our contract money. It was a good experience to do some loading again on the crane. Obviously it is something that we have done before, but it's good to keep our hand in. It is one of those things that if you don't do it often enough, you do lose practice, and certainly not the best at loading, but do give it a fair go. And luckily I did not damage any of Noah's equipment, which is good. But yeah, it was rather interesting and eerie being up by the watchtower again. Has really reminded me about the incidents we faced up there. The barn fire, the attack by the man in the bike helmet, and of course the strange wicker men that have come back to haunt us on occasion. So probably do need to get onto the sheriff about what's being done about those things, and maybe give him some information about the wicker men, as yeah, it was interesting what Walter told us a month or so ago about the wicker man that is at his farm, and that it came from Noah when he built the beehives, but maybe that would just be getting Noah into unnecessary trouble. We of course do not know that it is Noah, and Noah has been good to us so far by giving us work and by doing a fabulous job on the building materials. So yeah, it really is a bit of a predicament as to not trying to burn bridges, but also trying to find out what was the cause for all that mayhem. Alright, we can leave the truck where we found it and head over to see Noah and hopefully get a bit of a paycheck. Hey Noah, keeping busy I see. Yep, that job's all done. Fantastic. So minus borrowing equipment costs, we have made just shy of $7,000. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Noah. Yeah, we'll be back at some point to pick up the building materials. And thanks for this afternoon's work. See you later. There we go. Right. Let's head off, because I do want to try and catch old Ben, which Walter informed us about, and it sounds like he might have a tractor that we could look to purchase, something that's going to be fairly small, simple to start out. I can't imagine it's going to be massive and brand spanking new and super horsepowered, but yeah, we do at least need to inquire about a tractor. And we also need to be on the lookout for some equipment. We're going to need a mower, potentially a tedder, something for us to rake the grass back together or into piles, and then something to collect up the grass. So we might need a bit of advice and information on what we will need. Now, Walter did say that old Ben lives on a small plot behind where East Farm is, and Walter was not joking. It seems like old Ben is just behind East Farm. I think that is old Ben there, so let's just pull up and introduce ourselves. Hi there, are you old Ben?
Yes!
Oh, fantastic. Well, it's nice to meet you. We got your name from Walter, and he told us that you're the man to come and ask about potentially getting hold of a tractor. Yes, that's right. We're fairly new in Riverbend Springs, and we've bought a piece of land, and there is some grass on it, so I'm hoping to be able to mow that when the spring finally arrives. Well, I'm not really sure what we're in the market for. We don't know tractors that well, but something small, something cheap, and something that is going to actually run. Oh, you've got some old tractors in your barn, you say? Well, would you mind if we go take a look at them? Brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Well, yes, we won't keep you too long, but we'll go have a look and see what you've got. Excellent. Well, old Ben said that he has got some tractors in his barn. Just looks to be full of straw. Oh, hold on. Here we go. We have got a tractor here. This looks to be a John Deere 710. My oh my, this is quite a plucky looking tractor. Certainly is old and a bit dirty, but I've been promised that it does run, so we should have no concerns there from buying this from Ben. Oh, it looks like Ben has got his own number plate. Yeah, this is looking pretty nice. It has a PTO area there which we could connect equipment up to, a 3-point linkage on the back, and a hitch for both ball hitch and a pin hitch. There we go. Fantastic. Well, that looks pretty good. Yeah, not sure what horsepower it is, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be around the 50 horsepower mark. Oh, it looks like it has a hitch on the front as well. Now, Ben did say this is the better of his two tractors, and he'd be willing to sell us this for $2,500, which I don't know if that price is good or not, but obviously it's a used tractor, and yes, if we were to buy something new, we'd be spending a lot more money. Now, I did think, yes, I spotted another tractor over here. Now, this does look quite a little bit older, but not too much older, probably about a decade or so apart from the John Deere. But this is the Alice Chalmers WD45, and I can only assume 45 means 45 horsepower. My, this does look a bit more rugged and dirty, but nothing that a good cleanup can sort. And this is a bit of a classic looking tractor, where it looks like it's had a new flywheel or whatever that is that's on the side of the tractor there. The oil filter doesn't look too old either. Around the back, it looks like it's got a bit of a seat off to one side, as is the steering wheel, which is interesting. And again, it has a 3-point linkage, a hitch, and I think if I look back far enough, I can see, yes, there is a PTO shaft there. Fantastic. But it's very dirty, lots of chipped paint. But again, nothing that a bit of TLC couldn't sort out. I think that's it for tractors that Ben has got. So, it looks like we have got two options. The Alice Chalmers, which Ben has said that this is $1,000, as it's a bit older, a bit slightly worse condition, slightly lower horsepower. So this is the cheaper option out of the two, and also a classic tractor, so this would be a really nice thing to restore up and get looking nice and pretty. But then we also have a maybe slightly newer, maybe more capable, because it's got two wheels at the front rather than a sort of 3-wheel setup, and this is $2,500. So yeah, really don't know what to do. Got options, but like I say, we don't really know tractors that well. Maybe Walter can give us some advice, but perhaps you can help inform as which tractor we should buy, the John Deere or the Alice Chalmers. I will leave that up to you guys, but please let me know what you think is best. Hey again, Ben. Yes, we've had a good look. Both look rather nice in their own way. We're just going to mull it over and we'll get back to you. Thanks very much. But there we go. As always on Riverbend, it has been an interesting and varied one. We've made a good amount of money and also collected quite a nice stash of stones for our building materials. We have a decision to make on which tractor to buy, which I'm hoping you can help with. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is, I hope to see you again next on The American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.